Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over. On this podcast, we talk about everything from dating and relationships to personal development. We also speak very candidly about the F word, and by that, I mean failure. So grab a pen, tag a friend, and let's talk about it. All of it. Undergoing, overcoming, and simply trying to make it through. Hello, gorgeous. You're listening to the Girlfriend's Guide to Starting Over podcast, and I'm your host, Kayla. If you are just listening for the first time, I want to say hello and welcome to my platform. I am really excited that you are here. And as always, if you are a returning listener, hey sis, what's up? So today's episode is incredibly special because I'm actually also streaming into the Plot Twist Community group. And this episode will function as the kickoff training for the Self-Love Academy. If you don't know, I am hosting a 5-day free challenge in my free Facebook community. I will leave the link to my community in the show notes so that you can join us. And we are kicking off Monday, July 24th at 7 a.m. Central. If you're listening to this after that time, it's no big deal. My coach often says that a queen is never late. So go ahead, still join the community and just jump in on whatever day we are on. Everything that you need will be it will be pinned in the featured section. So Plot Twist community watchers that are out there, I love you. Hello and welcome. So let's talk self-love, okay? What is self-love anyway, and why is it important? I've got some notes over here. Self-love, by definition, is your regard for your own happiness or well-being. And why is that important? And that's point one of the show today, okay? It is important to have self-love because the relationship that we have with ourselves is the foundation, the cornerstone for every other relationship that we have in our lives. And I say that because we teach people how they treat us. We teach people how they treat us. So when they see us, not having appropriate boundaries, not pouring into ourselves, not caring for ourselves, being willing to move the bar or push the line and allow things that, other people wouldn't allow, then people in turn learn that that's just the kind of behavior that we tolerate. Almost like that's just the kind of behavior that we choose to entertain. It's also important because from as early as we can remember as women, we are given dolls, stuffies, toys like kitchen sets and, cooking sets and like all of these things that insinuate that it is our job to love, care for, and pour into other people. And yes, while by design, we are innately lovers, nourishers, givers by design, it's also important that we pour that same love into ourselves because it starts a vicious cycle of teaching people how they treat us, right? So these feelings that we have that we're not worthy of love, they start early. That responsibility for other people, it starts early. And then it's based on BS. And if you've been following me for a while or you're one of my clients, you know that when I say BS, I mean belief systems. The roles that we play in our families, the roles that are assigned to us, the roles that we play in our friendships, the trauma from, relationships that didn't work out, societal beliefs in comparison to other people, all of that is just BS. But all of that, all of our belief systems play a very large role in how much we love ourselves, right? Like we really need to think about that. Luckily, with some brain retraining, we can teach ourselves to love us. We can teach ourselves to pour into ourselves. We can teach ourselves that we matter. We can teach ourselves to be a priority. And this week, I aim to do that. I'm going to give you each morning, 7 a.m., I'm going to give you a bite-sized nugget, something to chew on, something to learn, an affirmation, and some mirror work or a challenge so that you can start taking baby steps toward building up that foundation and learning to love yourself, flaws and all. Okay. The wonderful thing about loving yourself, point number 2, is that when you start to love yourself, when you start to respect yourself, when you start to have healthy boundaries, you tend to not tolerate or be unwilling to entertain people who don't. And so I want you to kind of reflect on that as we go into this challenge. If there are relationships that you have in your life, if there are situations that you have in your life where you are displeased with the way that a person interacts with you or the way that they move, like in regard to you, consider how you move in regard to yourself. And this isn't to like put you down. The good thing is when you know better, you can do better, right? And so you will stop tolerating bottom shelf behavior once you realize that you are top tier. Chew on that for a second. You'll stop entertaining bottom shelf behavior once you realize that you are top tier. Lastly, you need to know, or we get to know, that self-love is a prerequisite for joy. And I don't mean that you can't experience happiness, that you can't have things that make you smile or things that just shoot you over the moon. But to genuinely experience joy, like joy throughout, you get to know yourself. You get to love yourself. You get to accept yourself. You get to like really embrace yourself. And that way you can know what makes you happy. You can know that, I'm not going to tolerate this. I'm only going to go this far. Or, hey, that's the line. Or you get to say, I love pink peonies. They're my favorite flower, and I'm going to buy them every time they're in season. Or you say, no, thank you. I don't eat pork, and you don't feel pushed to go, to the sausage factory or somewhere with somebody. Like, that really weird reference. But still, like, you start to do things, say things, create boundaries, and create systems to make sure that you are also cared for. So during this week, I invite you to come hang out with me in the Plot Twist. Get to know me, get to know my coaching style, get to know my community, because literally we are a group of women supporting women, cheering each other on as we navigate starting over in love, life, career, relationships. And I'm so incredibly proud of the friendships that are being built within that community. It is my community, but I say often that it belongs to us. It's only as good as we make it. I want you guys to all have some sort of ownership over it and feel like you have a place where you can learn and grow, transform, and prosper. I love you, girl. I cannot wait to see you, girl. And as always, I can't wait to see your transformation. Have an excellent day on purpose, and we will talk soon. Well, gorgeous girl, that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you found value, insight, or strength. I hope something was said that gave you the courage to push on a little while longer toward the life of your dreams. If you felt motivated during this segment, screenshot this and throw it in your stories and tag me on social. That way we can keep the message going. Have an excellent day on purpose, and we, girl, will talk in